What's going on, everybody? I'm Josh with Combat Sports Today. I'm joined by Damion Oranday. What's going on, man?
Hey brother, how you doing? Happy to be here.
Awesome, man. It's Monday. How's your Monday going?
Living the dream day by day.
I want to congratulate you on your last victory at FuryFC 106. Congratulations. That was an incredible submission. So hats off to you, sir.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Can you just kind of walk us through that? The kind of calf slicer into the rear naked choke situation that happened?
Yeah, it was wasn't planned. I'm always doing, cool fun submissions. My background is in jiu-jitsu. I've been training and competing in professional jiu-jitsu for about 16 years now. Uh so I've got all kind of cool stuff like that in my arsenal. When we went to the ground, this guy was a high level wrestler. The last two fights I've had have been against skillful wrestlers. We know the takedown was a possibility. We knew that, that if they got endangered on the feet, that they would want to get the fight to the ground. Usually wrestlers aren't too versed in dealing with leg attacks. Leg attacks also expose the back very easily, as you saw in that fight. And that's where I do some of my best work, actually. I've I've put on some cool arm bars and that nice calf slicer in that fight, but my specialty is on the back. So using the leg locks against him was definitely going to be there to expose his back. And then that's what happened. I eventually got to the back and finished with the rear naked choke.
Awesome. And were you surprised that he didn't kind of tap from that calf slicer? It looked
You
pretty
know,
gnarly.
uh, if you'd asked me that, uh, maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, yeah, I would have been real surprised. But after my pro debut, I fought a kid that was just extremely tough. I did a lot of damage to his leg. Uh, I think I tore probably every ligament in his leg between knee bar and heel hooks, and the kid just gritted through it. So after that experience, that's how I took my first loss. Kind of burned the tank on that one, and he finished with a TKO. It is what it is, but I learned from that, like, hey, these guys are real resilient. It doesn't matter if you break limbs, tear ligaments, like they're gonna keep fighting. Uh, so my new thought process when I attack limbs is to do damage. It's like a strike, like throwing a punch. And I throw a punch to the head and I cut the eyebrow, perfect. If I bloody the nose, perfect. Well, when I do a submission, an arm bar, a shoulder lock, a leg lock, it's just to do damage at this point. The only way to really get somebody out of there is to choke them unconscious or till the ref pulls us off.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, some guys just don't tap. So I mean, sometimes it has to have that.
It has to be
Fortunately,
real.
it's a gnarly visual. Sometimes the bones kind of pop and things like that. But
Yeah, if you guys actually go back and watch my amateur debut, way back in 2014, I actually dislocated the guy's arm. Real nasty arm break. I thought I should have learned from my first fight that that could happen, but I thought it was kind of a one-off thing. But now that I've been fighting, I've had nine with my amateur and professional. I think I've had like 9 or 10 fights. So like I've seen like how resilient the guys are and not gonna tap.
And I just want to give the people a little background, in case they're just now coming across you, from all these crazy submissions that you're pulling off in the Fury cage. You're 3-1 as a pro,
Yes, sir.
three subs, all in the first round. You went 5-1 as an amateur, I
Yes,
believe.
yes, I
You were
did.
the Fury amateur featherweight champion as well.
Yes, sir.
So, and speaking of all that, you're also a black belt. You mentioned you started that what 16 years ago.
16 years ago.
So
Yes, sir.
you were.
Yep.
I'm trying to do math. How old was that? I'm not trying to do the mental
I
math
was
right.
11 years old. I started jiu-jitsu when I was 11. And then now, I'm an owner of a jiu-jitsu gym, about almost 10 years now owning that, along with my family. My brother's a black belt. He owns his own gym as well, along with sister, mom, stepdad, brother-in-law. We got a lot of family involved with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a family business. So
It sure is. It sure is.
what made you want to transition from just doing the jiu-jitsu and grappling into mixed martial arts and fighting?
It kind of went opposite for me. So like when I started training jiu-jitsu was because of MMA. I watched Brock Lesnar fight Frank Mir in 2008. You know, I was a young kid. It was free on TV, and as a child, you see the size discrepancy. You know, Brock was this big, huge. You know, he was pushing the scales at 300 pounds out of camp. You know, Frank Mir's a little bit smaller, about 240, 250, and he went in and submitted Brock with the knee bar. So that got my eye like, oh, I want to do jujitsu. But I started jujitsu because of MMA. And like all throughout my young teenage years, I was like, I'm gonna fight MMA. That's what I want to go do. Uh, my eyes were always set on it. At 17, I did my debut. Had a real good performance there. But in those later years of my teenager, right, I was, you know, trying to make the decision like, okay, am I gonna do this? Am I not? I decided to go all in on jujitsu because I thought it was going to be more beneficial to have like a mastery, you know, be a black belt, you're like a master, you're high skill level. So to be like really good in one aspect and come back to MMA in my later years, where MMA fighters do prosper better in their post 25, you know, 27, 28 into their 30s. That's your peak for MMA fighting. So when I came back, when I turned 25, I was like on the cusp of, all right, I'm ready to start doing this again. I just competed a little bit as a black belt, uh, did really well, really liked what I did there. And it was like, all right, now it's time to make the move back. Started training again, striking, finding that rhythm, and then came back in 2022 full time.
Yeah, and I mean the results are, speaking for itself. You're rattling off these crazy submissions. But speaking of, your whole background and grappling and focusing on that, what are your thoughts on like these big organizations that have millions of eyes on them, like UFC, One, and Karate Combat doing oh, excuse me, grappling only leagues? Like
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on that?
no, it's amazing, man. You know, coming up through the sport, jiu-jitsu was real small, not a lot of eyes. Only the people in the know knew like the big names of jiu-jitsu, and then now that opportunity has grown tremendously. And I've actually been able to watch it firsthand as my brother was on the first UFC BJJ TV series they had, and my brother-in-law as well. So from my team, we put two athletes on the first uh, TV series they had for grappling. So it's been amazing to see. I'm really happy to see these bigger leagues are gonna finally start investing in jujitsu. You know, because it is my passion. I really enjoy jujitsu. That's it was there for me when I started, and it'll be there after MMA as well. Because we know training MMA, you can only do it for so long. You know, past 35, it'll be all right. I can come back to jujitsu and enjoy the retired career.
Yeah, it's always great to have, that mindset of you can still compete, do something you love, but it's straight on grappling and it's, more lucrative now.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
it's awesome, man.
it's the regional promotion guys always kind of show love to grappling. Like Eric and them had the Submission Hunter Pro series, and the
Exactly.
guys at CFFC had it was Fury Pro Grappling. Now I think it's CFFC BJJ or something
Yeah,
rebranded now. But it's good to see these big organizations finally following suit.
yeah, exactly. And one championship's been doing it for a few years now, and it's just awesome to see that it's finally starting to get traction.
If an MMA fight didn't, transpire, would you, jump on one of those cards?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I made a call out to the guys over, you know, Tetchia and Claudia, with UFC BJJ. You know, I'm training grappling every day. I'm training with their lightweight champ daily. I'm you know, one of the main coaches in his corner for all those matches. So I'm staying sharp when it comes to grappling. So if they want to have a 145 grappler, I'm here for it.
Speaking of your activity, you've basically kind of done 3 fights a year for the most part of your career, and I think you've already had 3 fights of 2025. Are you trying to
Uh,
get how many more fights this year?
so we were looking for October, but I don't think that date's gonna work out for us. So it's looking like November. So for sure, one more fight this year. If something falls in line where we can fight in October and then fight again in December, or if I have a back to back, if I'm healthy after the November fight and we can fall in and fight in December or just a quick turnaround for January, I'm game. Uh, it's all about timing, dates, and opponents. usually I'm kind of sitting on the bench waiting for the right opponent to come through because we've had a little bit of difficulty finding, that right opponent.
And speaking of finding opponents, you've taken 2 undefeated fighters, just in about 150-ish days. Is that kind of something you're running into? People not wanting to, like,
Yeah,
higher level people not wanting to sign?
yeah, that's kind of the problem where, you know, these guys that are maybe closer to my, maybe 3-1 or 2-1 or 2-2, like, not one to take the fights.
You're always in the gym, always training. What's something is that what you're attributing to this amazing finish rate that you're constantly putting on?
Oh, absolutely, man. This has been a lifetime of build up. It's not just like when I go into camp, it's not about like, okay, this camp is what's gonna change me. I've been doing this stuff for, almost 2 decades, my whole life since I was a small kid. This is for me, there's just another step in the direction I want to go.
What's the origins of the orangutan nickname?
You see the red beard, and I got a really long reach for my height. I think we measured my reach at like 72 inches or something like that. So
Okay.
it started in the gym. My coach, he's a funny guy. If you ever get to talk with him, he's always cracking jokes. And it actually, I was, it started in the gym. That's what everybody was starting to call me. And then in one of the amateur fights, he went over to the announcer and was like, "Hey, this is his nickname. Like, put it down." He said, "It's not on the paper." He said, "No, no, no. This is his nickname." And by force, I was given the orangutan. It stuck.
I mean, it's like you said, it's a fitting nickname, and it's great. It's very memorable. It's a
Yeah,
good
exactly.
branding thing.
Yep. And nicknames typically, they're usually a lot cooler when the nickname chooses you versus these guys picking their own random ass nickname.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same if like you give your own self your nickname.
Yeah,
It's
it just doesn't work that way, man. This chose me, so I
the
guess I'm stuck
true.
with it.
You have a grappling win over the 2-time FuryFC featherweight champion Cameron Graves. Given the outcome of FuryFC 109, would you like an MMA fight for the title? You know,
People keep asking me this. For me personally here, like I don't care. If that belt is something I need to get to the UFC, if it's something that the guys want, I'll do it. If they want me to fight him, if they want me to fight another champ, I don't see, how much more Cameron's going to be in Fury. He's already getting up there in age, so he either needs to be on the track to the UFC or, I don't know what else he's got planned for his career. But for me, if they want to put me to fight him, I'll fight him. I'm game. Uh, just to see where it goes. But my big goal is to get into the UFC and start fighting those top contenders up there. So it's all about stepping stones.
what is your ideal preferred path into the UFC?
Man, easiest is short notice call when there's no pressure, there's no big build up. It's, hey, you're gonna show up, you're gonna fight at 145 in 2 weeks on this card. Hey, I'm ready, man. Let's do it. Uh, you know, the trajectory of most fighters these days is through the contender series. So if they want to put me through the contender series, I'm game to do that. If we end up having to go to Ultimate Fighter and fight 6 weeks over there, like anywhere, anytime, that's where I'm ready to fight. Because like I said, I've been doing this my whole life. It's nothing new for me to go out and fight another dude.
And do you see any advantages of going to the Ultimate Fighter house? Anything you could learn from anything?
Absolutely. There's always every situation will breed some kind of learning environment, whether it be through the coaches, training with all the guys that you get put in the house with, for sure there's a lot of skill level coming through there, different looks, different uh, ways of fighting. So for sure that has its benefit. Fighting a short notice and just getting into the UFC and starting to fight would have its benefits. And going through the process of the contender series would have its benefits.
And I just got a couple of things, that's kind of outside of the fighting realm. I was scrolling Instagram, and I think you just finished your leg sleeve.
I did, yeah.
How many hours did that thing take?
We're just under 14 hours. I think it was like 13 and a half. We did it in 2 sessions.
Whew.
Yeah,
it looks nice.
it was awesome, man. I'm super stoked. It's actually still healing up. I got like the second layer of skin on it right now. I can't wait till it's, completely healed up and see how it looks.
Yeah, the photos look amazing. I had to, touch on that and kind of ask because it looks like I think it was just a couple of days ago you posted those.
Yeah, yeah. No, shout out to David Flores and Sorry Mom Fine Arts, man. They killed it. David's one of the best in the business. He's like a hidden gem in my small town. Yeah. Most people travel all over to go find an artist like him, and he's right here in my home area.
Yeah, sometimes you got to kind of keep those tucked away a little to yourself,
Yeah, he's a little hidden gem over here, man. It's freaking awesome.
And what are top 3 songs that's currently on your repeat list?
Oh man, I got so many. My walkout song is always a really good one. I keep that at the top of the playlist. Hate it or love it, with 50 Cent. Uh, just that good underdog stories, underdog feel. So I always have that song playing. Lose Yourself, Eminem, and then the other ones they kind of just filter through the mood. It could be more 50 Cent, it could be more Eminem, it could be some rock music. But I'm always changing it up. Like I don't have one last step, there.
And what's a kind of a hobby or something that you kind of do outside of combat sports to get away from everything?
Honestly, it all involves combat sport. I'm a hustling businessman. So outside of fighting, I'm a referee, director, and coordinator for the IBJJF Jiu Jitsu Federation. So it's the International Jiu Jitsu Federation. I'm one of the directors for them. So I travel a lot on the weekends all over the US and sometimes outside the US to go with them. I own, like I said, I own my own business. I own the Oranday Bros Jiu Jitsu in Port Neches. That's me and my wife's gym. And then I've started a small little side business as well. I do like kind of like a rental business, trailer rental business. So I'm a entrepreneur at its fullest.
So you don't really have too much time for too much outside of that.
No, I like I got 2 daughters, so I try to spend as much time as I can with them, do some fun stuff. We had a good summer. We did a little traveling over Florida and little weekend trips with them. Uh, I like to go fishing. Don't have much time for it, but that is something I enjoy doing.
Yeah. I seen you were train and hang out with Nico. I didn't know if he's lured you into the Dungeons and Dragons or the
Not
gaming
yet,
world yet.
not yet, not yet. I'll stay so busy. Uh, that's the man though, right there. That machine. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's my main training partner. That's the day in, day out. He's the number one training partner I have right now for MMA.
Yeah, super cool guy. Super cool guy.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. The nicest man. You meet him on the streets, and outside of fighting, and you would not believe what that dude can do in the training room or inside of a cage.
I don't see how he never gets tired. Like that's insane.
They call him the machine for a reason. That dude just keeps coming. Doesn't matter what you do to him, he's gonna keep coming after you.
Yeah. And I don't know if you're a big foodie or food person, but what's your favorite fast food burger or just any fast food chain?
God, man. Fast food probably has to be Taco Bell. That's what we went after that last fight. That's what we went and did.
What's your go-to Taco Bell order? And are you a Baja Blast guy?
Now I'm a root beer through and through.
That's respectable.
And then beefy 5 layer burritos, gordita country wraps. That's all the good stuff.
Yeah, you can't beat Taco Bell. It gets a bad rap, but nothing when you're wanting that, nothing will satisfy that craving.
Nope. And I was craving it the last like 3 weeks of fight camp. I was like, oh, I want Taco Bell. So right after the fight, that's what we did.
Awesome, man. I bet it's like super satisfying. You're going through all that weight cut, you're wanting it, then you finally get it. It's probably the best Taco Bell ever.
Honestly, it was awful because I felt so bad after. I was eating so clean, had a great camp, a great weight cut, and man, I just felt terrible. I felt disgusting after doing that.
just to kind of wrap things up, do you got any, training partners, family, friends, sponsors you want to, give a shout out to real quick?
Yeah, no, like I have so many sponsors. My strength and conditioning coach, Josh, he helps a lot, through the camps, keeping me in shape. Training partners, Nico Echeverry, the UFC BJJ champ, lightweight champ, Carlos Enrique, Logan Smith, my brother, Austin, and then of course the man behind it all is Coach Drew Ratajczyk. He's he's the best, man. So super thankful for him and all my family. They support me as well.
Again, I appreciate your time, taking this time out on this Monday afternoon to speak with us. And
Yes,
we
sir.
look forward to your next fight.
Thanks, man. Keep an eye out. We're shooting for November, of course, in the Fury, the one and only Fury cage.